Hi, this is Michael Josephson, and I want to talk for a moment about sort of the academic framework and the academic evidence about the success of a program is comprehensive as Character Counts 5.0. If you've watched any of these other tapes or looked online to understand 5.0, you'll understand it's a much more comprehensive program than most. It's certainly not just a matter of putting up posters or having mugs with slogans on it or even quotations a day. It's finding ways to use those kinds of interventions and prompts in an integrated way that literally changes the way people experience their school. Now, first of all, honestly, what I'm going to say in terms of the value of this is just simply intuitive. You simply have to know that one of the most significant things in almost any movement is attentiveness, paying attention to it, caring about it, looking at it. So when you start to look at what are the things we want from students, and we usually have an activity with the school where we say, what do you want to have more of and less of? What behaviors would you like to see? How would you know whether this program is really successful or not? And so any good evaluation, and we believe that a program such as ours, which certainly involves a great deal of commitment in terms of time and some money, it's actually pretty inexpensive compared to almost anything else, but it involves a major investment, has to be accountable, has to be able to show it works, it makes a meaningful difference. But whether something works or not depends on what is your end goal. So the first part of any good Character Counts program, any program I suppose, is to define clearly your outcomes. What would it look like if you were successful? So for example, from an academic point of view, what it would look like is more students would be achieving their potential. They would be doing their homework. They would be getting engaged in the classwork instead of hating it. They would even develop a love of learning. They would start developing specific skills. From a social emotional point of view, the outcomes you would be looking for is that you have less children who are depressed and are finding themselves so fearful in school that they can't go. You'd be finding students who develop that emotional intelligence to improve their relationships in a meaningful kind of way to get the most out of things. You'd find that they were more conscientious and they were more diligent and using the skills. They have perseverance and resiliency. And from the character point of view, you'd look at what we consider the 6 pillars. They're more trustworthy, they're honest, they keep their promises, they demonstrate integrity and loyalty. They're more responsible, not only responsible to do what they're asked to do, but responsible for themselves, responsible for their values, responsible for their happiness. They're respectful, they're fair, they're caring, and they're what we call good citizens, part of the community. Well, how do we know this works? Well, first of all, there are a great number of studies, and many of them are on our website. The challenge for us in terms of the traditional study is because Character Counts is a framework, not a curriculum. Every school does it a little bit differently, and we encourage them to do it differently. We encourage them to adapt the program to their particular population, whether it's rural or urban, or whether they're cultural issues of a Hispanic culture or an Asian culture or any other things that adapt to get the best result. As a result, according to many of the academics on these kinds of studies, they don't believe it's comparable to be able to show what kinds of reactions you're getting from a Character Counts program if the program has different elements. Now, in fact, for the most part, we've overcome that. In some of the studies you'll see, and the most comprehensive of all actually was done by Puerto Rico, because the government of Puerto Rico and the Department of Education helped us develop and wanted to have measurements of pre and post results of not only of their students, but of the engagement of the parents and the engagement of the teachers. And you will see on the website some of that data. The point is, however, that whether you're talking about an Ulvaeus kind of program in bullying, or whether you're talking about a PBIS program which deals with behavior, or any number of other programs, you have to have an outcome in mind. That's why Character Counts not only has standardized kind of evaluations of school climate, both before and after, that it will measure, but in certain cases customizes those measurements. We believe for an achievement to be worthy, it has to be meaningful, measurable, and sustainable. And so if you look carefully, you will see that Character Counts 5.0 is truly an amalgamation of every major significant character and educational movement in the last 30 or 40 years, whether it's whole child, whether it's 21st century skills, whether it's the anti-bullying programs of various kinds, Common Core, all of these different things have been digested to take the very best of that, put them into a thing we call model standards for student development to make this a truly comprehensive student development program. Please take a close look at what we've done, what we can do, and start as soon as you can to bring out the best in all of your students.